Yeah, thank you very much. Let me say good afternoon from Casting Center in Germany. We are glad to be here. My fellow will be speaking after me. So I'm Olusegun Titus, Stephen Titus, and we'll be talking on sounding space and place of Olúmọ valleys in Egbaland, Nigeria. Scholarship on Nigerian oral literature like indigenous music has actually tended towards cultural life and relationship in the community, yet little attention is directed at the connection of sounds and music on rocks and valleys landscape. It's like generally musicology is a latecomer when it's, it comes to issue of environments, histories, anthropology, and all the rest. They've gone far, but it's like we're just waking up to, I think we can do something. Music and sounds can actually do something. So, but now we're looking at this. Historically, Olúmọ rock is a spiritual rock of refuge for Egba people, a sub-ethnic group in, Nigeria. Abeokuta, where the rock is located, is about 100 kilometers to Lagos City. In the 15th and 16th century, interethnic wars in Yoruba actually happened and there were displacement, but this rock became the place of refuge, the place of, security, against the bandits, against the terrorists, so to say. However, the Yoruba are not just an ethnic group, but a confederation of people with common ethnic heritage. They are the largest group in the most densely populated country in West Africa after the Hausa Fulani people, which is the most region or in the continent. So you can also find Yoruba people in Cuba and Brazil, and Egba is a sub-ethnic group of these Yoruba people where the rock is located. Now I look at the theory engaged. You are looking at ecomusicology as been by Aaron, Jeff, and Dennis. In 2014, if you look at this, the science, you can see that ecomusicology is central. The first sign there, we have the music, nature, and culture tripartizing or triangularly, looking at the music pattern, the cultural life, and the nature, and it becomes ecomusicology. Ecomusicology is actually the combination, of these, of the non-human or sound worlds. That's the physical, that's the rock, the valleys, so to say, in this paper, and then the human sounds, cultural environment, which is kind of the sound, the music, the chants, the poems, if you may say. And this one comes from the word ecology and musicology, all right? Ecology and musicology in the time of environmental degradation that we've seen almost all over the world, and is highly threatening. Yeah, we engage with ethnography, we try to do interview, and then we look at the musical and textual analysis. Music is actually potential, especially the popular and indigenous music in narratives explaining the sounding spaces of rocks and valleys, because they are highly emotional and they actually connect, that the kind of interlayers and trajectories of connection between the nature and the people. And music, therefore, situates kind of a linkage between the rocks and the people. You can see the example of, this is the rock here, the picture of a rock located in Abeokuta, the capital city of Ogun State, in Southwestern Nigeria. And another issue about it, my second, we discuss it better, is the big tree that is more than 100 years old, that is placed, that's on top of the rock. This is the tree, because when we are talking about the rock, it's not just the rock on its own, but as a form of security, form of refuge, form a kind of now entrepreneur or tourism center, but kind of helping sustainability, which will be more discussed. I want to look at some of the sounds, some of the music and chants about Olúmọ. Please, let's listen. Let me share the sound first. Share the sound. Good.
Ti lọ sí ìlú Ẹ̀gbá o, ẹ̀mú gègé ẹ̀mú tákà dáadáa ni ẹ wá fi ìwé lọ orí mi. Ẹ̀gbá mọ́lísà bí ọmọ gbòǹgbò àkàlà, ọmọ erin jogún ọlá o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ sílẹ̀kùn palẹ̀ ẹ̀kùn dé tí wọ́n ń porí kí àwọn bàbá tó bí yín lọ́mọ. Ọmọ àrídìí ògùn lójú ogun, ọmọ àṣẹ tí mú mi kíkan. Ẹ̀gbá ara kí máa jó ọmọ máa jòjò lọ́fà. Jọjọ lọ́fà ta kúkú ìjẹ́ máa jó gbẹrú ní máa jó gbẹ̀kọ́ torẹ́rú ní ìsinmi ẹ̀kọ́ kì í sí ìyàn. Ẹ̀gbá ọmọ òru la ṣe kà èèyàn tó ṣerú rẹ̀ lọ́sàn kọ́ onítọ̀hún màmá ní ìfarare lọ. Ẹ̀gbá wọn lè sábì ọmọ agbóhùngbò àkàlà. Ẹ̀gbá ló ní báyìí sí o mẹ́yìn lẹ́ni bá wà ní tẹ̀yìn torí bí kan bá ní báyìí sí ìkejì àti máa ní bá wà.
Thank you. The song is just a kind of praise chant on the people and the rock. The song praises the rock as a place of refuge, and also talking about the people as people of kind of great minds who has the potential to create environmental sustainability using the rock. All right, talking about the history, the origin of the people, in connection to the rock, to the valley, and telling kind of description of the rock as a place of religious tolerance, as a place of tourism, as a place, because on the rock, people normally come there to pray. Immaterial of the type of religion, they believe in prayers, so they come there to pray. It's a kind of unification of religion. They try to forget their religion when they come to the mountain to pray. So it's a place of center. Not only that, people also come there kind of as a form of tourism. So the chant is explaining the importance of the people and the rock using the ecomusicology point of view, that despite the degradation we can see in the world, for instance, we see Niger Delta oil pollution that is being degraded in Niger Delta in part of Nigeria, and some cities in all over the world degraded in forms of cyclone, in form of tsunami. But this rock has been somehow maintained, somehow position, somehow preserved, to give a kind of example of how a city is helping an environmental sustainability, and how songs kind of connect or kind of gave these narratives in it. Let's listen to another song. Thank you. Then the next song, before I round up and my second takeover, this song I'm going to sing this song is talking about the chant praise of the rock again. It said, Lórí òkè àti pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, níbẹ̀ la gbé bí mi o, níbẹ̀ la gbé tọ́ mi dàgbà o, ilẹ̀ òmìnira, èmi ò fò fàbẹ́ òkúta ṣògo. Mo dúró lórí Olúmọ, máa yọ̀ lórúkọ Ẹ̀gbá o, èmi ọmọ Lísàbí. Máa yọ̀ o, lórí Olúmọ, máa yọ̀ o, lórí Olúmọ. Okay, now the songs we can see some melodic moves, harmonic structure, rhythm centers, key centers, forms, call and response, thorough composed, and this emotion, these sounds gave some emotional, arrangement of place and space, because place is a geographical and also semantic explanation of the global space in a local or local space, in which musical narratives explain the rock in Abeokuta as a space of refuge, as a space or place of security in prehistoric age, but it's still very peculiar and still sustained in the present world. We can, as I said, it's a navigating landscape. It gave some geographical explanation, some security, environmental sustainability, historical issues, and tourism. And my second presenter will continue from here. Hello.
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone from me.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone from Ile-Ife in Nigeria. My name is Oluwabunmi Bernard, and I just want to quickly say a few things before we conclude. So, yes, the Olúmọ rock is very, very germane to the history of Abeokuta and the Egba people. Now, Abeokuta is a town in the southwestern part of Nigeria, where the Egba people are domiciled. Now, Abeokuta is named, the name in English means under rock. So it's trying to tell you that everything about the lives of the Egba people radiates around the rock. So apart from the fact that the Abeokuta itself has a landscape, the Olúmọ rock has a landscape on its peak. So its peak is where the the biggest, I think, around southwestern Nigeria currently stands. It stands about 130 meters above sea level, and it has its own landscape. So if you see the picture, sorry, I can't share my screen. My laptop was acting funny prior to the presentation. So if you see the tree, you will notice that, yes, it has its own landscape. You see other trees are there, but the tree itself, it's one of the biggest, like I said, rarest is the African baobab tree, and it has become a sacred object to the people, so it can't be cut down. So it's, in a way, the traditional religion of the people is safeguarding the environment on the Olúmọ rock to preserve its landscape for the future generation as it may. So the tree is there. The trees and the Olúmọ, the baobab tree, which is the Ose tree, we call it Ose in Yoruba language. It has come to represent a religious, it has come to become part of the religious experience of the Egba people, so much so that they have found a way to bring the tree into the, one of the incantations offered in Yoruba language is chanted to foil the plans of one's enemy. It can be chanted to foil the plans of one enemy. And it got its content from things relating to the tree. They say, now the name of the tree is Ose, Ose. Now, it's the literary, the English translation roughly says, they conspired against Akpa, which is another tree. They didn't prevail. They planned to harm the Ose. They didn't succeed. So it is a way of the Yoruba people trying to make sure that their environment is sustained in their orature. It is sustained in the things they see, the material things and the immaterial things, which the material things is, one of it is the tree, and one of it is the Yoruba orature. So you find out that the Egba people who are part of Yoruba have found a way to maintain and sustain their environment through these various oratures and various oratures, which have helped to form. It has become part of their history, and it is helping them to maintain their environment and to just make sure that things don't completely degrade. So in conclusion, just to wrap things up, the major focus of this work is to highlight the fact that I said the Yorubas, who are who are one of the largest ethnic groups in Nigeria, have found a way to preserve their environment through the use of sound, which connects the environment to the history of the people, and through their orature, which has become sacred in their spaces. Thank you. Okay.